Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to add some really cool effects in Photoshop. So down here at the bottom of your layers panel, there's this FX thing, and these are called layer styles. So I'm going to go to this word rainbow. Okay, now I don't have this perfectly in there to fit, but you guys, I just want you to see these effects. So in here, there's so many different options that you can use. One of the ones that you'll probably really like is gradient overlay, color overlay, pattern overlay. What that means is you can just drop a color right over top. So let me show you a couple things. If I go to gradient overlay, you can see that this color it's set at white right now, so it just automatically changed to that. But I can come in here with the gradients and you can actually change those to fit over top of your text. Okay, so that could be a really cool option for that. Okay, some of the other things that you can do, so all of these settings over here are all going to be different. Color overlay is just going to be a solid color. Okay, so that's just going to be the solid color there. Let's go back here. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to keep it at the gradient overlay. And I'm going to go to a different layer so you can see some different things. So back here to FX. I'm going to start out with drop shadow. Okay, so on the drop shadow, that's just going to give it a little bit of a shadow around it. So these are different effects that you can use. Okay. The opacity is turned really down low right there. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to show you. So there, as I play with this setting of the spread, you can see that there's a little bit of an outline occurring. You can play around with the size of it, like, whoa, that's way too big, okay? And as it gets out like this, it looks a little fuzzy, so you gotta play around with that. Play around with all of these settings. You can change where it goes, okay, the angle of it. So that's a cool tool to explore, okay? Some of the other things, you can drop in different types of patterns along things. So if I go here, patterns on top of it can be kind of cool. You can also even import some new styles, but we're not going to get to that quite yet. But all of these, so satin's going to give it a kind of a shiny look. And you can change the color of that to give it a little bit. I'm going to get off that drop shadow. There we go. So that's going to give it a little bit of a different look. It's going to change it a little bit, but you can do some pretty cool things with it. Okay. Changing the color of it, it's going to change how it works. All of these settings can do some pretty cool things. Okay. Inner glow. Watch what happens when you can use gradient colors. It's pretty light, so it's kind of hard to see. Okay, but it can kind of change some of those things there. Okay, so lots of different settings within here. Explore these, what you want to do with those. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and I'm just going to finish dropping these in just so I can show you one last thing. I don't know if I really like the way this looks. It looks kind of tacky right now. But kind of goes with what I'm going for. Okay, so I'm going to make this last layer bigger, and you can do some pretty cool things with it as well. So you could like erase all of the text, keep the background. So for instance, I'm going to turn this cloud white. Then I can't see the background, but you could come in and drop in a gradient, do some funky things with it. That's probably way too much going on. Oh, I need to add some raindrops to this, okay? Oops. So there's lots of different things. that you can do to kind of get your achieved look to your final design. Now I need to clean up those edges there, and look how that's kind of hard to read for some of this in that middle there because it's too bright. So kind of play with some of that a little bit as you work with your design. Okay, so your design, your final design should look way better than this. I just wanted to show you some of the effects that you could do that are pretty cool.